Everything would begin in the kingdom of Zeno-sama. Despite having incredible power, it cost him to destroy 6 universes, the sacred universes, because deities and subjects that inhabited these would exceed the power of Daishinken. Only Zeno-sama was able to keep them apart. It was a little complicated for him, but his universes were corrupted by negative energy. The great Zeno-sama, with no alternative, had to eradicate these universes. He had received great damage in battle, but fulfilled his objective to eradicate the 6 universes.
My lord, how are you feeling? Understand that the power that you had to use to eradicate the gods from these universes had to be crazy.
I agree, Daishinken. I must definitely look for a successor, otherwise it'd be impossible for me to continue with this.
But my lord, you have the required power to rule the 12 universes. Only the 6 sacred universes were the ones that generated problems.
I agree with you, Daishinken. But if there are warriors of that caliber of power in the future, I won't be able to do anything, so I have to find a successor before it's too late.
Millions of years passed, which is why we're in the present. The Tournament of Power, and his best friend Son Goku is able to access Ultra Instinct, leaving everyone surprised, including the gods, angels, and Zeno-sama himself.
Son Goku will be my successor. Despite not having millions of years of training, he's able to get that incredible power.
My lord, are you sure? The power of Mr. Goku is great, but he's not able to overcome the power of a guardian angel.
I completely agree, since with his simple mortal life, he's able to access this state. If he's able to have one of your trainings, I'm sure he'll be able to overcome his limits.
My lord, even though I train Lord Goku, I doubt he'll be able to overcome the power of the beings of the sacred universes. His growth and power is somewhat unreal. Even his knowledge on the battlefield seems to have no limit.
Don't worry, I'm sure Goku will be able to count on the required power to face warriors of the same caliber. Trust me.
Mighty King Zeno-sama, you being the only existence capable of defeating the gods of the sacred universes, I fully trust you.
The Tournament of Power would continue, taking the victory to Universe 7, while Android 17 asked for the restoration of the universe is eliminated by Zeno-sama. Zoma instantly fulfilled the wish and brought to life 6 universes that was destroyed millions of years ago.
That's the Tournament of Power, but Son Goku, I hope you recover and rest. Tomorrow I have to talk to you.
Oh, I understand. Don't worry, in that case, we'll leave. Goku would say goodbye, being able to reach the planet Earth, being greeted by a banquet by Bulma to win this victory for Universe 7.
Hey Whis, does Daishinken want to talk about Son Goku? It doesn't comment anything to you since there's something worrying me too much and I don't know what it is.
I have no idea, Mr. Beerus, but don't worry, I doubt it's bad. Otherwise, I would have talked to Mr. Goku right then and there. In the 6 sacred universes, each of its inhabitants returned and their gods. They were confused having returned, being able to observe their entire universe seemed to function normal.
What's supposed to have happened? I can't believe we came back to life. This must be the god Dragon Zama who is reviving us, since all the other gods hate us by the power that completely overshadows them.
5 flashes of energy arrived towards the planet of Jamura, which was of wisdom. Jamura, what is supposed to happen? We were destroyed by that dwarf Zeno-sama. How's it possible we're back to life?
Jamura, who was able to get the Super Dragon Balls to bring us back? That's impossible, since all the other beings of the 12 universes hated our power to the limits like theirs. Something very serious must be happening in the multiverse for Zeno-sama to have requested our presence.
The whole place would change. A simple boy with blue hair would start walking through all the gods while destroying everything.
I, the mighty dragon god Dracula, am not allowed to overlook this disrespect.
That dwarf decided to finish us off with his power becoming similar. We have to destroy him.
But before we begin with the battle, we have to be able to find the reason why they brought us back, or if a more powerful warrior than Zeno-sama forced him to this.
Instantly, the whole place gave an illusion that disappeared. While none of the gods could move, their bodies seemed to pass tons of pressure that crushed them.
Each and every one of you better calm down, because otherwise we'll be eradicated again, and we have to start moving from the shadows.
Everything returned to normal while the shadows could observe a burly warrior with his body of a silver color, while it seemed that he had wings on his face.
Don't worry, comrades. We will be able to take revenge on that dwarf who proclaims to be the king of all. But the information must wait, so your god Jamura of Wisdom will be waiting for your information.
Sure, as you order, Rimura-sama. That's right, the 6 universes, there was a warrior who surpassed them dozens of times, being Rimura, who had the ability to practically have unlimited energy and allow him to fight for days, weeks, or months. Meanwhile, returning to Earth, the day had passed when Daishinkan granted Son Goku rest. My lord, this time I'm ready to retire to discuss the proposal that we've been able to tell me. I've granted you to training on my part.
Okay, Daishinkan, I'm counting on you.
Daishinkan would leave for Earth, appearing in front of Goku, meditating on top of a mountain with the intention of mastering Ultra Instinct to the max. Well, if it's Daishinkan-sama, as if I don't know what time he'd come for me, I started meditating to try to access the Ultra Instinct at will. Don't worry, Goku, that's normal. It's go time. Daishinkan, together with Goku, was able to reach the Kingdom of the Whole, in which they received it by a single Zeno-sama, which surprised Goku.
What happened to the other Zeno-sama? I thought they were always together.
The Zeno-sama
Of the future and the Zeno-sama of the present merged to create a single warrior, since what we have to tell you is of the most importance.
Goku would take a serious look.
What happened?
Has a new enemy appeared that you're not able to eliminate?
Not at the moment, but the king of all, I want to take you to the successor. So you'll be the new king of all and transmit a large part of power, so you'll be able to reach a new level.
Goku, surprised, a warrior created an artificial energy of Jamura was surrounding the kingdom, while the intention of getting information happens in the palace of Zeno-sama. This is new. That mortal's powerful, or I don't know the origin he has, for him to be in front of Zeno-sama and treat him so naturally. Jamura, with his gray metal power, would grant an incredible combative power to the puppet, who would release an incredible power, but being a puppet without any body, he was able to take the appearance of Goku, but with an extremely negative power, which was able to make the whole kingdom of Zeno-sama shudder.
Wow, whose power is that? I'm not even able to move.
Goku's power and feeling an incredible on his whole body was able to access Ultra Instinct Max power, which would leave Jamura surprised, who was watching everything. This is interesting. That'll even interest Rimura-sama, a being who isn't even possessed divine energy in its entirety, is able to access the state no god of the 12 universes has been able to achieve. Only our sacred gods. That puppet rushed against Goku, who was able to stop his blow, but was able to break Son Goku's arm. Having the power of Jamura, his power was superior, and Goku, to recover thanks to the power of the Super Saiyan God, ran through his entire body.
Who's this guy? And why does he look like me?
Daishinkan would start fighting the puppet, exchanging blows. He noticed how the combat style, it was from the holy gods, which would make a chill run through his body completely. The combat style would be able to recognize even millions of years pass. It's the style of the holy gods, and you have this exact copy of Lord Goku. It must be the god of wisdom, Jamura. That puppet could connect a strong blow to Daishinkan, making him fall to the kingdom of Zeno-sama, while communicating with his creation. Wow, so you're able to realize it's me. Although I'm not surprised, thanks to you, I was considered the god of wisdom. Jamura, what the hell are you supposed to do? You were my first disciple. I can't believe you're trying to destroy all the 12 universes. Me? Being your greatest creation, you don't care about that dwarf that eliminated us. You're always on his side. I considered you a father. Right now, I only have one goal, and that's to end the kingdom of him. The puppet channeled the power of his creator, generating an incredible explosion all over the place, destroying everything. Before the explosion spreads through the universes, Zeno-sama was able to create a powerful barrier to encapsulate the destruction of that explosion.
Goku, this isn't the time to give explanations. I want you my successor, since these warriors have revealed themselves, and I don't have the necessary power to stop them. Only you can achieve it.
That's impossible, Zeno-sama. I want to be more powerful, but I doubt I could beat that guy that even you're not able to beat. Lord Goku, you'll receive training from Zeno-sama, and you'll receive training from me. So try your best. I'll have to, because I don't plan on letting them destroy all the universes, which cost me so much to protect.
Daishinkan calls an emergency meeting with all the gods, angels, and warriors of the Tournament of Power. We require all the power to face the cursed.
Jamura was thoughtful, but would be taken out of his thoughts by the holy goddess Nin.
Jamura, what's wrong with you? I see you're worried and thoughtful.
I've been able to infiltrate the realm of Zeno-sama, but a warrior who doesn't have 100% divine energy can master the Ultra Instinct to the max.
What are you saying? That's impossible! Such a feat's only capable of the first creator god Yamoshi.
Yamoshi was born with mortal energy, but was trained to access the state beyond the gods despite having mere mortal energy.
If what you say is true, this is bad. We should inform everyone to fight back as soon as possible.
It's the same I was thinking, but there's something I don't like about this. Even though you have more power, my body says something bad's about to happen. The gods of Universe 6 found themselves surprised because Jamura of Wisdom could spread the news about the Saiyan who reached the power beyond the gods without the divine energy. This is extremely strange. Only Yamoshi could accomplish such a feat. It's impossible. In millions of years, a being with the same qualities hasn't been born.
But we should not take it lightly, because if a warrior reveals himself to the six universes and grows consistently in power, he will threaten everyone.
I agree with you, powerful Ryuma-sama. At the same time, I really doubt that Saiyan's able to get the power of Yamoshi God.
Jamura is right. The mighty god Yamoshi existed billions of years ago, and we never met him. He was just a legend of his feats. I agree with Cirrus and Jamura. It's impossible that after billions of years a warrior could have such qualities. It's impossible.
What do you mean, Mikoshan? I have noticed that you're thoughtful, but your ability to analyze situations is amazing.
My lord, with respect, it's almost a nil possibility. This warrior capable of having these characteristics could break the space-time dimension and the barrier between life and death.
What do you mean by breaking the barrier between life and death?
As you listen, with such abilities of being able to exist, even we're able to be on the astral plane to feel his power, but we haven't been able to perceive anything.
Sometimes even I am ashamed to call myself the god of wisdom. Mikoshan's able to have a very different perspective than mine.
But I repeat, the chances are 0.1%, almost impossible. Equally, there's a possibility that he's a direct descendant.
Mikoshan, that's why you're considered not of the goddess of wisdom.
It's impossible for a Saiyan to be the direct descendant of Yamoshi. I agree. Since the mighty god Yamoshi lived billions of years ago, it's impossible his offspring's not been affected.
Moreover, if he had one, at some point in our lives we'd fight these warriors of power, but something like that's never happened.
In that case, I agree with everyone. We'll pay a visit to Zeno-sama's realm, so get ready. We leave in 5 days.
In the Kingdom of the Whole, Goku could be observed lying on the ground, while every one of his bones seemed to be pulverized by the pressure that fell on his body. On this occasion, the pressure of 30% of Daishenkin's power was on his body. Mr. Goku, it's time that you stop my pressure, because otherwise you'll be injured and then it'll be unfavorable for your training.
No, don't do it, Daishenkin! I have to be able to master all this pressure. If I don't manage it, then it'd be too dangerous for all of you. I want to be the new king at all. I have to be able to withstand your pressure without difficulty.
I agree, but with withstanding the pressure 30% of my power in your second training's practically impossible.
No, Daishenkin. For me, there's nothing impossible. If someone can achieve it, I'll also achieve it. And no one's able to achieve it, I'll do it first.
Goku, despite being in Super Saiyan Blue, couldn't stand this incredible pressure. His body, being subjected to great pressure, was able to expand his energy veins more, and Goku concentrating a bit more to access the imperfect Ultra Instinct. The heat and power he released was madness, since Daishenkin could perceive how Son Goku was able to repel him. This is amazing. Goku has the Ultra Instinct at 50% able to repel most of my pressure, and this power and resistance increased in an amazing way. Goku would walk towards Daishenkin and they were face to face.
You see, even though you have no intention of ending my life, I could activate the Ultra Instinct. I'm close to mastering it completely.
Good, Mr. Goku. You're a genius among geniuses, because the angels who claim to be gifted couldn't withstand 30% of my pressure in their second training, since they had to spend several years to achieve it. The mighty Zeno-sama would appear to observe his friend's training.
I'm sure my friend could be able to put the limit of the sacred gods to the 6 universes. It's never my intention to eliminate them, since there's no warrior who is powerful enough to have them at the limit. His ambition will grow.
It's not your fault, my lord. 100% of all your power, I'm sure you could fight with them. Don't worry.
You're right. If I had 100% of my power, I could do it again. And analyze a little more, they also fought against me and weren't affected the way I was, since their divine vein was more powerful than mine.
Instantly, Daishinkan's pressure would be released much more, reaching 45% of his power. Despite releasing that, Goku couldn't move from that place, and it was difficult for him to stand. The imperfect Ultra Instinct was able to withstand it. That's enough for today. It's amazing that I could withstand almost 50% of my pressure. Tomorrow we'll continue.
No, Daishinkan! Release more pressure! I need to be able to see death in front of my eyes, to become more powerful and with your pressure to have to achieve.
Mr. Goku, are you sure? Since it's something completely risky, if your energy flow's compromised, you can't raise your power, and you'll stay stuck at that level for the rest of your life.
Don't worry, it's a risk I'm willing to take.
Daishinkan would immediately give a smile, and Goku stared at him. Daishinkan would raise 40% of all his pressure, and Goku's knees would touch the ground. Despite this, in the pain, Goku could stand up and was able to break one of the bones of his leg.
Don't stop! I can take more pressure! Do without compassion!
The power the priest released was 50% of his power, which would crush Goku completely. Falling to the ground, he was unable to, despite this pressure, he wouldn't lose the Ultra Instinct, and resisting to be overshadowed by the pressure.
Don't worry, I can withstand the pressure for 2 more minutes, and then my whole body will get used to that pressure of 50% of your power.
After 2 minutes, Daishinkan would deactivate the pressure. Goku would lose his transformation and return to his base state with most broken bones. And although his physique was destroyed, his interior was better than ever, withstanding the pressure of a more powerful warrior and helped him increase the power of any warrior.
Goku, you'll be the real king of everything, but when time is right, I'll merge with him, and I'll only do it if that situation warrants it.
What did Zeno-sama say? How could he merge with a mortal? Never have I seen anything like that.
In all existence, the sacred gods never resurrected in search of revenge. For emergency situations, desperate measures are required.
My lord, I apologize for doubting you. Although Goku's power is far from being able to compare with ours, his increase in power in just 10 days is madness.
I told you, we have to have a little more time.
Daishinkan, I don't know about you, but it looks like training him in one of the training dimensions of an All-King. In that place, time passes differently, just like even you increase your power more. I appreciate the recommendation, but I'll keep it in mind. Currently, it's impossible since the pressure of the place was incredible for me. Mr. Goku's bones would be pulverized and it'd be impossible for him to withstand it.
In that case, we need to train in a place longer while my friend's able to master 100% of your pressure. They'll be able to withstand the pressure of one dimension of the kingdom of everything.
For her part, returning to the holy gods, Mikoshan was thoughtful.
This must be a nightmare. I'm thinking too much about the same thing. It can't be a mere mortal of the lesser universes. It has to do with Yamoshi.
Instantly, a great pressure would fall on the goddess Mikoshan. She would release a little of her pressure, expelling this pressure of her companion Nin. What's going on? Immortal, we used to be having these kind of games. Is there anything that bothers you?
I know this is absurd, but even if it's 0, it's not complete 0. And it terrifies me because Yamoshi's power to exist, even though we considered sacred gods, we can't do anything.
Mikoshan, concentrate and listen. It's impossible. Remember, if 2 divine beings of energy could form a new warrior, it would no longer have the qualities of his father, since the divine cells are mixed.
Of course, I know that. If the divine vein of Yamoshi surpasses the vein of his partner, the most powerful cells would be able to take control of the body. Just like Zeno-sama, who's the king of everything. Our divine cells are more powerful.
What do you mean, that we have to fight like old days to be able to forget this? Which is even making us worry more than we should.
How I wish that our mentality of yours, since it's nothing capable of worrying you, and the things I really admire you.
Don't say silly things. Let's fight. We can get our stress out, and battles will always give us a calm. Nin and Mikoshan would get in battle pose. Their auras collided. Both launched their attacks, and their powers were incredible since the sacred goddesses destroyed the place overwhelmingly. However, it didn't matter since in that place there was no living being, only inhospitable planets as training sites. Mikoshan, being clueless, would be held tightly by her hair, dragged across the surface of the planet, destroying everything. Come on, Mikoshan, what's going on? This isn't usual. Usually you'd never let me cut you off guard. An incredible aura would be released and destruction that was generated, and a big smile drawn on her face.
I'd forgotten the enjoyment of this struggle is generated. I want more, so get ready, Nin. I forgot that everything that stresses me out now, and I'll focus on the battle. That
That's what I was longing to hear. I'm ready. Attack, and I'll let you strike first. Nin, and speaking, would be attacked by a power that Mikoshan was able to connect an incredible blow to her stomach and was able to knock her out of combat. Nin would fall to the ground holding her stomach, and a large amount of blood would spread all over the place. Ah, damn it! What the hell? I didn't expect Mikoshan to hit me with such power. Has her power increased in these millions of years? Return to the Kingdom of the Whole, it's already been 3 days. Goku could withstand the incredible pressure of Daishinken, and he was able to adapt in a surprising way to the pressure of a Supreme Angel.
Mr. Goku, with this training you've been able to surprise me. I don't know how you did it, but you can keep up with me.
Daishinken, this training made my whole body feel destroyed, but I want to be an excellent ruler for the universes, and above all I want to put a limit to these sacred gods. I must have great power. Goku, I'm sure you'll be able to put a stop to these sacred gods. Your body has no limits. I trust you. Zeno-sama, I promise to give my all to reach my limits, and that's what I'm doing every training day with Daishinken.
Indeed. Mr. Goku's training is able to withstand more pressure. Tomorrow in the training rooms, he'll be able to withstand that pressure.
No, Daishinken, that's crazy. That's not able to withstand 100% of your pressure, so to withstand the pressure, the training rooms will end him. No, Zeno, I want to become more powerful. I have to face these dangers I never thought to face. I want to withstand that pressure.
Mikoshan's universe, we can observe Nin on the ground, defeated, while Mikoshan's power grew to an incredible way, drawing the attention of the other holy gods. Mikoshan's power would continue to increase incredibly, and at this time uninhabited planets were affected by the power, and the extortions of energy were perceived by the sacred gods.
You're Dracoria. I want you to stop Mikoshan. Millions of years has passed and he can't control his power, and is getting carried away by his emotions, and stunned that the mortal without possessing the divine energy has reached the Ultra Instinct. Understood, my lord. As you order, this very instant I'm leaving. The sacred god Dracoria in the beginning approached Mikoshan's planet, realizing Nin was next to him with serious injuries from the battle they had a few moments ago. Damn, if I don't do something before war Zeno-sama starts, we'll lose the sacred goddess. Dracoria increased her speed much more to hold Nin in her arms. Before she left to attack the field of Mikoshan, she, with an incredible movement, was holding Dracoria's leg, and with reflexes would throw Nin into the dimensional portal, arriving with the god of wisdom, Jamoria. But Nin, what has happened to you? Only a king's able to inflict such wounds on us. Did you try to face him on your own? Jamoria would heal again. On the battlefield, Mikoshan would hit the planet of Dracoria's body. All that slaughter was too much blood spreading around him. Mikoshan, with overwhelming power, would send him flying to a planet, destroying it.
This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, we'll all die!
Dracoria, while spitting too much blood, watched Mikoshan.
Hell, Ryuma-sama's news negatively impacted Mikoshan. Well, it's supposed to be information fulfilled in an uncontrolled Supreme Angel. Dracoria tried to get closer to calm her down. She was getting carried away by her emotions and would start attacking him again. Dracoria, not prepared, would get a beating by the angel. Mikoshan was one of the most beautiful angels of existing, and it seemed to be a complete beast since she was able to dismember him. At the moment, she would throw him to the bottom of a planet, destroying the base of it. At that moment, an overwhelming power would release all over the place, and incredible pressure was going to collide with the pressure of Mikoshan. You're my partner, but if I have to knock you out of combat, I'll do it. Mikoshan, by pouncing again, the time she would be completely neutralized. Although Dracoria's appearance was not the most intimidating, he was the second most powerful sacred god, only below Ryuma. Dracoria, after flew blows on her vital points, as well as her energy veins, could knock her out of combat. Holding her in his arms, with the power of his eyes, he was able to restore all the destroyed things in the sacred universes. Damn, I had to nullify the powers in my eyes. The mental power it requires is madness, and it takes away 50% of my vision. Dracoria would leave the planet of Ryuma, along with Mikoshan. Returning to the kingdom of Zeno-sama, Goku and Daishinken were in the dimension of the Divine Kingdom, where Goku's bones were pulverized. They turned into dust, and Goku, having great willpower, couldn't stand for more than 2 minutes. Mr. Goku, this gravity and pressure you should be able to withstand.
Zeno-sama, like all the Holy Gods, were able to finish their training in this room, but the level of demand is of another level.
Daishinken! Even though we left, I feel my bones are sore. I never thought I'd leave that room.
Mr. Goku, despite everything, it's amazing you could withstand that pressure for 2 minutes. It's a feat that very few beings achieved.
But Daishinken, I must become more powerful. I have to push the limits of the sacred gods, and I require that power.
For today, we better rest, since we've trained without it, and I'm sure you would be a real king at all. Returning to Rimura, Dracoria, along with Daishinken, arrived. Thank you, Dracoria. You can leave. I plan to take care of Mikoshan so that type of behavior doesn't happen again. As you order, my lord, I withdraw. Dracoria would leave the planet, and an incredible pressure was able to make Mikoshan wake up, since the whole body would feel incredible terror.
What? Where am I? If this is Ryuma-sama's palace, what happened?
Mikoshan, a damn Saiyan, for no reason I'm destroying everything in my path, and your impertinence for delaying the meeting.
Rimura, I implore you to excuse me. I don't know what happened, but remember the information that you and Jamura gave us is something I can't get out of my mind.
Mikoshan, I want you to unleash your power against me. I want you to vent. Mikoshan didn't dare take a single step. Her enemy's aura completely terrified her because her enemy's power was overwhelming.
Ryuma-sama, please, I ask you, explore the offense of this simple goddess.
Mikoshan would look up, observing Rimura, analyzing her fixedly. Without Mikoshan being able to move, Mikoshan was knocked out of combat, and since the sacred gods were in the hierarchies, these sacred gods were being, with Rimura, powerful at all. And although there were 100 sacred gods, they weren't able to do anything against him, and the distance of this power of that of his companions. Mikoshan is the only one managed to see my aura without being able to represent it. Her mental power is overwhelming. I mustn't let that behavior pass. Returned to Zeno-sama, Goku was able to recover, but Goku had pushed his body to the limit. Even though one of his bones were completely destroyed, he wouldn't stop. Tomorrow I have to leave for training. Since the power of that occasion was overwhelming me, I couldn't do anything against it. The night would quickly pass. Goku would be outside the castle of Zeno-sama, concentrating his energy with the intention of mastering it. If he was able to achieve it, the energy load of each of his veins would be much less on the amount that would be able to release would be greater. Well, I could tell he woke up much earlier. By controlling the energy in that way would cost him, because even for angels to master the energy is extremely complex.
It's complex but not impossible. I know I could do it.
I don't doubt you. Despite being immortal, you've been able to surpass all the existing angels, which is worthy of my respect.
What? I can overcome the power of the angels of the universe?
Indeed. No angel is able to withstand the pressure of that dimension. Their bodies aren't capable of such great pressure.
Daishinken, I want to become more powerful. I just need a little more time. I promise.
At that moment, Zeno-sama together with the Guardians would appear in the battlefield.
Goku, I have a gift for you. I know that you'll be able to put it to good use and be able to master it completely. Wow, I hadn't seen you in a while, Zeno. But what's this gift?
Wow, Zeno-sama, you want to bestow the Beast Energy Pearl to Goku? We doubt that he can master the Beast Energy Pearl.
Beast Energy Pearl? What's that?
The Beast Energy Pearl is a pearl that has the energy of an ancient beast that has never known defeat. Although Zeno-sama tried to dominate it, it was impossible. Legendary, only Yamoshi was able to do it.
If a warrior can achieve it, I'm sure I can too. So let me do it. I have a request though. I want to be able to do it on my own. In that dimension we trained Daishinken.
Daishinken and Zeno-sama's look were amazed, as mastering the Beast Energy Pearl was crazy for a mortal. But even trying to master it under the pressure that even Daishinken found difficult was something completely different. No, Mr. Goku, I can't allow that. You'll be the new king at all, and I can't let you die. It's impractical.
I agreed with Daishinken. You must master the Beast Pearl Healer on the outside. If something happens, we can help you. Well, in that dimension, you must spend at least 24 hours to be able to open the door again. Please, I ask you to trust me. I've been through hard training, so I don't plan to die in a room, much less with the Beast Energy Pearl. Goku, if you die, believe me that the 12 universes are doomed, since I don't possess the power to face the holy gods.
Mr. Goku, think it over. This is madness.
Don't worry, I've had training and I can receive this completely. I'm sure I can withstand the pressure.
Goku would hold that sphere and would instantly enter the dimension. Returning to the sacred universes, Rimura had a meeting with the sacred gods. Tomorrow, we'll go to the useless kingdom of Zeno-sama. If Mikoshan doesn't wake, we'll go. But my lord, isn't it dangerous to leave Mikoshan alone? If Mikoshan wakes up tomorrow in the same way, we'll go with us. But in case she doesn't, don't worry. Mikoshan will go on my planet and there's no brain that can approach this place.
My lord, if the 5 holy gods, with the exception of Mikoshan, come to the kingdom on that damn dwarf, but in peace or in war?
It's just what I wanted to know, because I want to prepare to wipe everything out that exists in these 12 universes. In my point of view, we'll pay a visit to the one called the King at all. Of course, we'll end his reign, and although the last word will be from Rimura-sama. According to how they receive us, we'll respond. If we're received kindly, we'll respond in the same. If there's a minimal lack of respect, we'll massacre them.
Rimura-sama, is it necessary to destroy the 12 universes? Or should we just destroy the gods and angels? Since from my point of view, the living beings of the 12 universes aren't to blame for anything.
That's right. We'll only destroy the divine energy beings. Because his damn fault we were eliminated, we'll finish Zeno-sama as guardians of Daishinkan. Goku, despite the fact that his bones were pulverized, he was able to access the Ultra Instinct max power. His bones would regenerate quickly, and due to the injuries, he started to have incredible increase in power.
My hypothesis was correct. Although this method is painful, I don't plan to give up. I'll achieve it.
At that moment, an incredible pearl would release an incredible power, while much greater pressure could be released all over the dimension, just like the essence of a colossal beast that could be observed. But if he's the new god, at this moment I'd destroy him completely. Before being able to connect a slap, realizing that there was a little essence of the powerful god Yamoshi. Apparently this warrior is a descendant that could treat me with companion more. His predecessor was like that, and I'll give him a chance. I want to know that he could use my power. All the power of the Beast Pearl would begin to enter Goku's body. He would adapt to the sacred body, and resistance would multiply. Being the skin of a sacred beast, the sacred god was able to reach the kingdom of Zeno-sama. Releasing pressure, they would be received by Daishinkan. What are the holy gods offering? The 12 universes aren't satisfied. They better leave in a peaceful truce.
Your 12 universes don't receive us, and that doesn't interest us. Just so you know, we've come with talking, but now the holy gods attack.
4 sacred gods launched themselves on the kingdom of the whole. Both the guardians, Zeno-sama and Daishinkan, despite being the pillar of the 12 universes, didn't have the power to stop them, being neutralized, and Rimura would approach the divine beings. Even though millions of years have passed, this good-for-nothing will only let them live, and will give me the Saiyan who has the access to the Ultra Instinct maximum power. It doesn't matter, you won't know where that Saiyan is. Upset, Rimura would try to end Daishinkan. A great chaos would be unleashed by the 12 universes, and the destruction of the planets was generated. Pressure would fall on the sacred gods, leaving surprised Rimura, who would feel a pressure trying to crush his body. What the hell is this pressure? It's trying to crush me! The whole divine realm started to change. Goku was taking over the power of the Beast Pearl, releasing a little of its incredible power. An extremely gigantic power was released through the kingdom of Zeno-sama that didn't even lose against Ryuma, the most powerful sacred god of the sacred universes. This power released around them. Ryuma expelled his incredible power, 2 auras collided, and from the aura of Goku, negative energy was perceived as well as beast energy, which surprised the present warriors. What? How's Mr. Goku able to have this power? His power he's releasing is of another level. Can't assimilate it. Was he able to?
Daishinkan, I told you, Goku will be able to master the power of the Beast Energy Pearl, since the Saiyans possess an Ozaru similar to that of the god Yamoshi.
But how is this possible? It hasn't even been 10 days since I attacked you with one of my energy cloning techniques. You didn't have that power.
My body hurts too much. I feel like my bones are about to be destroyed. I'm not able to move.
Both warriors approached each other, auras colliding more brutally. But the great flame was possible to see the observance of Goku, which at that time had fur all over his body and musculature increased. That appearance is that of an angelic being. The silver paddle makes him look superior to the king at all. Can't believe it.
I hope you're ready. In my absence, you'll be able to humiliate my teachers. I can see that you're called the Holy Gods. No matter what you call yourself, I'll destroy you.
I must admit that you possess an amazing power capable of almost every being compared to my power. You can get that power. The energy drain is crazy, unlike mine that I've mastered.
Ryuma, moving quickly, rushed Goku, who would do the same, starting to exchange millions of blows for the 12 universes. The planet of the gods of destruction was trembling with such a power.
Hey Wes, what's going on in the 12 universes? What's the reason for the power being released? Who are these warriors fighting? I feel an incredible pressure falling on my body. It's crazy. I can't believe that I can't move freely.
Whis, with the help of his staff, would begin to investigate who is responsible of this destruction, surprised.
What happened? Why has your expression changed completely?
Mr. Beerus, the subjects who are released to this power surpass the level of a king at all. One of them is Ryuma, the holy god of the eliminated universes.
What? How is it possible the most powerful god of the sacred universes came to be resurrected? Wait a minute. There's a warrior capable of standing up to him? Even Zeno-sama avoided facing him.
That's why I'm surprised. The warrior who's facing Mr. Goku. I don't know who he's able to get such an incredible power.
Is that what you told me? How is it possible Goku could get this power? You must be a joke. Wow, so Kakarot's even able to fill me with pride that the Saiyan race could soar through the 12 universes. Ha! Keep it up, Kakarot.
Ryuma, the more the battle went on, his anger rose much higher, because Goku didn't bow to his fists. The fists that Goku granted him in the same way had incredible power, causing damage. And in a small oversight, Ryuma could hit him with an incredible power, flying to a planet completely, and without wasting time, a sphere of destruction in his hands.
I must confess that you are powerful. I doubt you can get out of this next attack, even with the destructive energy combined.
This attack hit Goku, generating destruction to the 12 universes. This condensed energy had so much that the planets were destroyed by this attack.
Even a king at all wouldn't be able to get out of that attack. Son Goku died. I haven't been able to fulfill my job as the guardian angel.
No, Daishankin, look! Something's happening on the planet that Goku fell on.
In the part of the planet, everything would freeze. Goku's power this time was on another level, but his aura was able to freeze everything, leaving everyone surprised. Who was most amazed would be the sacred gods, since they didn't acknowledge such powerful warrior exists.
That guy can't be a Saiyan. He has the same power of the mighty Ryuma, who could end his life completely. No, this is serious. We have to leave. Otherwise, this simple battle will end our lives.
Nin, employing a large part of the mental power, was able to communicate. Ryuma-sama, Jamura, Darakura have asked me to communicate with you and to abandon this fight. We're at a disadvantage.
I know, Nin, but I'm not able to find an opening to leave.
What? I thought he wasn't using all his power. Dracoria and I, even though the pressure affected us, would come to his aid.
No, Nin. Don't leave the energy field I created for you, because this guy even handles gravity techniques even for me with great magnification.
But in that case, what do? We can't stay.
I know. The only thing left to do is to get ready to leave, and we'll only have an escape route once we have it.
Ryuma would instantly change his expression, and a large sphere of energy created above his head.
I must confess that you have power that is able to confront me. I can't allow a guy to have this 10th gate of our age to be able to defeat me. Observe my devastating gods.
You think you can hit me with that technique?
Ha! You're wrong. Who said I'd hit you directly?
All the great sphere of energy would appear, starting to enter Ryuma's body. Goku's surprised because the power condensed in the sphere was of another level. At a great speed, Goku tried to stop it, but couldn't, because this time the energy field repelled him, sending him to hit a few rocks and spitting out blood. This power was amazing.
Despite this barrier, you could give me great harm.
Before he could stand up, he'd see Rimura emanating power being a few centimeters from his face. Goku trying to do something, Rimura would connect this blow, destroying everything around him. Rimura, at a great speed, would grant him millions of blows. Despite possessing overwhelming power, the price to pay was amazing. Every time he would have his bones completely destroyed.
I can't take any more. Rain of stars!
Millions of combo attacks were directed towards Goku. Rimura would approach his companions, and with a dimensional charge, they would return to the sacred universes. At the end of this incredible attack, Goku would stand up, with serious injuries and blood releasing from his body, as well as one of his arms missing, and he had a large part of his energy to be able to restore it, but it wore him out more.
That attack was dangerous. I could endure it though.
The deities of the entire kingdom approached Goku, and he would fall out of combat, returning to his base state due to the excess energy. Rimura's palace, Mikoshan would wake up.
What happened? Where is everyone else? I guess they're upset about my attitude. I apologize to Nin. It's the best way to behave. She just wanted me to help with my mood. A portal would form in front of her, and she could see that all her companions returned with broken bones. And one of the most injuries was Rimura, ever since her entire internal system was destroyed.
Mikoshan, help us!
All the gods with a simple pressure were affected. Mikoshan would begin to help the companions and help them with a little of the divine energy, and returning to the realm of Zeno-sama, Goku at rest was able to help Daishinkan and his cells recover. Daishinkan, realizing that Goku was out of danger, would leave his room, heading to where Zeno-sama was. My lord, I could heal the wounds of Goku, or better I should call him the new king at all. If it hadn't been for him, he would have died.
I agree. Goku's power was amazing, and he was able to master the energy of that pearl. He must be the one.
Indeed. It is the only mighty legendary Yamoshi who could accomplish such a feat. He still has a long way to go.
You're right. He must have much more power in him to be able to fight with the holy gods and have them on a roll.
On the planet of Beerus, everything calmed down. Apparently the battle is over. There must be a reason for Son Goku to have been able to get that incredible pressure. I couldn't assimilate it.
But you must, Mr. Beerus. Mr. Goku possesses that power, and Daishinkan would choose him as his successor, explaining the increase in power.
I agree, Whis, because even if I trained in the Room of Time, I wouldn't be able to achieve this power. Something must have happened. But I'm also very thoughtful, since I don't know how the hell Holy God's been able to return to the living. Who has been able to revive them?
I don't know. There are a possibility that the god from the same universe has been able to revive them. I doubt too much, since they always treat him like garbage.
Something strange has happened in the kingdom of Zeno-sama, and Goku's involved. We must do something quickly before we're affected.
In an alternate dimension far away, a palace was located in that place. An opposing warrior with golden hair could be seen, and seen was lesser universes. This guy had the divinity of Zeno-sama and couldn't even reach his heels.
This is interesting. I never thought a guy like Yamoshi would appear again. I'm sure if I tell him everything that happened in this multiverse, he'd be happy. There's no Saiyan that could access that level again.
This guy was Gilgamesh, and would instantly stand up walking to his room. While walking, power would be expelled from the sacred land of the heavenly gods, trembling. Returning to the sacred gods, all of them, with Mikoshan's help, would recover, with the exception of Rimura, because Mikoshan didn't have the power to recover Rimura's energy. I have been able to stabilize Rimura, but his energy flow would take 2 months to recover, and he'll be unconscious for 2 more weeks.
No, damn. I can't recover in 2 months. That guy's able to get incredible power in days. I can't imagine a power to be able to get in 2 months. That guy's a monster.
I don't completely understand what you're talking about. You better explain yourself. I'll have to be able to heal your wounds. The subject in which Jamura, the god of wisdom, warned us turned out to be true. This guy was able to master the energy of a god of its eternity, and no content with that. He's been able to master the Ultra Instinct to a level beyond its limits.
I've never met a warrior who could increase his power that high, because it's something incredible. Only a powerful god Yamoshi could increase his power in that way. I believed that they were simple myths.
I have been able to control my emotions. What can we do? What do you think we should do to talking to the beings of the Kingdom of All?
I've been thinking the same thing, but that's granting permission to them to put their foot on their head, and they wouldn't be able to do anything.
While they were debating their future, an incredible power would emerge, being able to bring the holy gods to their knees, and pressure was much greater than that of the warriors that had released a few hours ago.
I can see that you are looking for his power. I'll give you little power so you could do something that I'd be able to give you. But even with more power, you will have to do something for me.
A great power was able to be released all over the sacred universe, enveloping every sacred god. An incredible power was traveling through the sacred gods. Being able to feel the power of the kingdom of Zeno-sama, everyone present was surprised by the energy released. Goku out of combat because his injuries weren't serious. He had maintained adequate rest in order for his body to adapt to the new power.
My lord, who's all that incredible pressure? I can't even move. I'm sure the other holy gods, the essence is different.
On the other hand, you are right, Daishinken. It's hard to believe they're from the sacred gods, but apparently an external being is able to grant him great power.
Great Zeno-sama, it's impossible. The holy gods together with you are the most powerful warriors of the 18 universes.
Within these 18, you are correct. But have you wondered who will be the most powerful warriors outside the 18 universes?
My lord, this is about gravity. It's not time to play. There's nothing about the 18 universes. Instead, there's only a complete empty.
But tell me, have you been able to see it? Or do you just let yourself be guided by what someone else said, since I haven't even gone beyond?
My lord, I can't believe what you're saying. I've always thought you were the most powerful warrior of the 12 universes.
Returning to the sacred universes, the power of the gods increased, but it wasn't enough to mutate, because multiple warriors were able to get great power from the outside mutated in a horrific way. Which happened to sacred gods, there's two circumstances. Their energy was incredible, and the power required so their body requires more to evolve to an advanced level.
That is a bit of the power I may be able to grant you, but to later me, it's that I will be able to return to the god Atrium to give you more power.
Before they could say anything else, that powerful existence disappeared. The incredible power of Atrium was even able to recover the wounds of Rimura, getting him back on his feet.
We have to be able to master all this, because the next visit of that miserable dwarf's kingdom will wipe out everything on our path. My lord, the power that we achieved is incredible. I'm sure we, at this very moment, are able to finish off that Saiyan good-for-nothing. No, it's a terrible idea.
If we go to the kingdom of Zeno-sama, the energy drain's overwhelming, and we'll be in danger if that guy is already healed. It's not recommended.
I agree. It'll be better to master all that power that guy's able to give us in order to completely destroy everything.
In that case, we should start training. I'd like to train with you all, my friends, but to increase my power, I must train on my own, even though my power is defined by my emotions, and that can be dangerous. Mikoshan and each of the other holy gods left for their planets and started training. In the celestial kingdoms, Gilgamesh had been able to observe everything happened.
Yamoshi, are you sure what you're doing? You're my best friend as well as warrior. You've been the one who forced me to use all my power. I'm completely sure. I want all those gods to call themselves sacred and capable of being corrupted by power, and I want that Saiyan to crush them. You know that you're asking for something possible, but since the power of Atrium is able to be compared to a little over your 60% of your power, I only granted 1% of these gods and gave them unreal power. That's no problem if the Saiyan's chosen to be the most powerful beast, and I'm sure they'll be a part of the Celestial Kingdom, since such a power is not able to stay at that place. That's funny. After millions of years, you look so excited. I don't know if that's because of the Saiyan blood they share or just simply personal taste. I really am excited. I want to see that power possessed by a Saiyan that was almost able to end my life at a time. Returning to the kingdom of Zeno-sama after 2 days, Goku would wake up in pain in his head and a little dizzy, since the last blow he received from Rimura was over his head, which almost made him out of combat from the excess power he used. My head hurts! I even feel the energy veins a little numb. What happened? Where are the holy gods? Well, it looks like you could wake up. That's amazing, since it's only been 48 hours since that battle.
Daishinken, what happened? I don't remember anything.
Mr. Goku, I don't know how you can master the Beast Pearl energy, but that power you released is amazing, and Zeno-sama and I were dead at that moment.
I remember until the moment I came out of that dimension, feeling overwhelmed by the sacred gods, and that great energy was able to enter my body.
Apparently, that's what the Saiyan says is true. Their power increase is great because of their anger, and that they're able to release much more power.
Well, that explains a lot. Tell me, what happened? Did they leave without coming back, or has something else happened?
I couldn't tell you that. Apparently, the power was so great he was able to overwhelm the powerful holy god Rimura. So, using great power, he was able to attack him, but then everyone disappeared.
I don't like it. Apparently, those guys are planning something to become more powerful, but they don't plan on letting those miserable people do it.
What do you mean? Are you planning to attack them?
No, of course not.
since doing that it'd be madness. I'm only planning to do right now to my master the beast power.
So you're gonna tell me that you want to 100% master the power of a beast, bro? I can't believe that. That power is amazing.
I understand that you told me, but even though my power is incredible, I'm not able to master it. I'll enter that dimension again. Goku, you're the only warrior worthy of the new king at all. I trust you. I know that you'll be a great warrior and powerful king.
Even we'll be able to serve you in everything Zeno-sama requires, and we'll ask for an apology for not having trusted you from the beginning.
Don't worry, I'll always protect the 12 universes. I don't plan on letting anything destroy them. I've sworn to protect them.
But for this great war that's coming, we need the help of the gods and angels, and I'll ask you to come to an emergency meeting.
No, Daishenkin! That would be unfavorable for us, since no matter how they train, at this moment it's already too late, and I can't concentrate on the battle if I don't have an eye to protect them.
Understand, Mr. Goku. We'll observe this point of view. In that case, we'll show you how to do it. This war is only to fight the three.
I agree, even though my guardians will merge with me to get the power of an absolute king. Alright, at this moment I'm leaving. I'll be more powerful in order to protect the 18 universes, and the inhabitants of these universes aren't to blame their gods for being miserable. Goku would enter the dimension in which he'd begin to train. Meanwhile, returning to the sacred universes, the gods would train in order to master the energy given to them, and the evil energy in their hearts intensified in an amazing way. It was due to the negative energy of the god Yttrium.
Apparently the 5 gods are being affected by this energy, although I'm surprised that goddess is able to resist the negative power.
I thought that I was the only one surprised. I agree, the willpower that girl possesses is amazing. Since any god converting more power was among their companions, his heart is still pure. And it's very rare to see the subjects of lesser universes, which their purpose is to seek more power, because they fail again and again in their increase. You're right, but changing the subject, why don't you fancy combat? We have millions of years that we haven't had fun, and watching these lesser universes fight made me want to fight against you again.
I'd like to refuse, but you're not only, since you have much more desire to fight.
I want to know what's the limit of that saying, so of course I'll accept.
You want to go to the Mayuki universe?
I totally agree. In that universe, it doesn't matter the destruction we make. That universe can rebuild itself, so we can't hold back to regenerate. We have this destruction. Both gods with the big smile headed to the powerful universe of Mayuki, and once they arrived, without warning, they launched themselves against each other, exchanging blows throughout the universe of that goddess. Their fists were almost invisible, and if a warrior of a lesser universe tried to see that, the two figures wouldn't be able to be seen, since their speed exceeded that of light, being imperceptible to the ordinary eye. Only beings able to notice their incredible power were warriors of the same dimension of power. Well, after millions of years, that pair started fighting again. That's interesting. It irritates me, but it's not for me to ask to consent for my universe as their battlefield. The battle of both were devastating, but weren't able to overcome the level of regeneration in Mayuki's universe, since everything they destroyed in the universe, it regenerated like nothing happened. Gilgamesh and Yamoshi connected incredible blows to their faces, being able to retreat a little. I could tell in these millions of years you've been training, since your fists weren't capable of having the incredible power. Let me tell you the same thing, your fists are powerful. Returning to the dimension, Goku was meditating while his entire body of incredible power traveled. Goku was able to master the power of the Beast Pearl, with the resistance, speed, and power multiplied thousands of times. As long as he's able to dominate it, on the contrary, the same thing would happen to him like last time. His own body would be destroyed further, the battle would progress. I must be able to master this power. I'm sure I can next time I meet those wretches. It'll be a final battle. Goku would continue with his meditation. The sacred universe of Nin was still training, and the power released was not compared to the power of the companions. Surprising, it didn't affect him in the slightest, so that moment Nin would stop training. Is it really the right to destroy the 12 universes? I'm sure it's not the best, since innocent people will die. The leader of the sacred gods, Rimura, had been able to achieve a power far beyond his limits, able to mutate. He would not mutate much from the horrendous form of his original form, and at that time, negative power would form in his body, capable of containing that incredible power. Being able to change the shape of his body, this time he had 4 arms, and that his body would turn blue from the power he gave off, which was madness. Being able to get all the 18 universes to tremble with this incredible power. Wow, I've been able to access a new state. When this power is enough, I won't be able to allow that miserable Saiyan to become more powerful.
Rimura would organize an emergency meeting to inform the exact day on which they would attack Zeno-sama's kingdom.
I've always waited for this moment, and it'll finally come true. I intend to completely crush that damn good-for-nothing dwarf.
The god of wisdom, I intend to destroy everything. I can't contain their desire for destruction. I'll annihilate everyone present. I, the mighty god Dracoria, and descendant of the first omnipotent dragon god. I intend to wipe out every living being that crosses my path.
Apparently everyone is eager to destroy the beings of the kingdom of everything.
For that reason, 24 hours will come to end this great war of millions of years ago. All the sacred gods released their power in the form of affirmation, with which, without caring, they began to destroy their 6 sacred universes completely.
In the dark skies of Thraxis Nocturne, the stage was transformed into a cosmic battlefield, where divine light and malevolent darkness collided in an epic confrontation. Owamo and Ewin, the guardians of this planet, displayed their celestial power with a grace and precision that defied description. The glow of the purifying light emanating from Ewin and Owamo spread across the space, illuminating the shadows that the shadow creature was trying to grasp. Ewin and Owamo's every move was a ballet of divine energy, as they gracefully dodged the dark attacks encountered with unstoppable force. Owamo's wings shone with a resplendent light, like stars in the night, as he invoked the very essence of creation to repel the dark forces rising up against him. By his side, Ewin radiated an imposing presence, with his penetrating gaze fixed on the creature as it defying the darkness itself. The shadow creature, on the other hand, was fighting with an impressive ferocity, trying to resist the overwhelming power of Ewin and Owamo. Their dark attacks were launched like ravenous shadows, seeking to consume the divine light that surrounded them. However, every attack was countered by the impenetrable force of Ewin and Owamo, who remained firm in their purpose to protect the planet. The clash between light and darkness created a symphony of cosmic energy, with flashes of light and bursts of energy illuminating the firmament. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Your power is formidable, but it cannot resist the purity of creation.
You can't stop me. I'm the very embodiment of darkness.
Darkness can be powerful, but the real strength lies in balance, and we represent that balance. Ewin and Owamo continued to deploy their energy with amazing precision, creating light barriers that repelled the attacks of the shadow creature. Every movement of Ewin and Owamo was imbued with a divine elegance and grace, while the creature struggled with a desperate ferocity. Our mission is to protect the harmony of the universe, and that includes protecting this planet from your darkness.
You can't stop me. I'm inevitable.
The shadow creature launched waves of dark energy, but Ewin and Owamo easily repelled them, maintaining an opposing presence in the midst of battle. Every blow of Ewin and Owamo resonated with the force of creation, while the creature struggled more and more desperately. The darkness can be a challenge, but our determination's unwavering. We'll not let you destroy this planet. Your power may be formidable, but it cannot equal the eternal light of the universe. The battle continued with Ewin and Owamo and the shadow creature facing off in an epic clash between light and dark. In the midst of the struggle, Father Zeno silently watched from his kingdom, perceived the magnitude of the conflict. With an imperceptible gesture, he decided to intervene, taking Ewin and Owamo to a mental plane where they could confront the shadow creature in a terrain beyond the physical. In a flash of dazzling light, Owamo and Ewin were transported to an ethereal realm, where the laws of the universe twisted and blurred. Where are we, Ewin? We have entered the realm of the mind, a place where reality is molded according to the will of the observer. Here the real battle be fought in the deepest corners of our being. While Owamo and Ewin were transported to a mental plane by Father Zeno, the shadow creature continued its fierce assault against the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and Cooler, the most powerful warriors on the planet, rose up against the darkness that threatened to consume their home. The shadow creature, imbued with a dark and malevolent aura, hovered over them with an overwhelming presence. He distorted his energy, enveloping everything around him, tearing reality itself apart, and threatening to plunge the planet into an abyss of chaos. We won't let you destroy our home, shadow monster. We, the warriors of Thraxus Nocturne, are not afraid of the dark.
We have faced much greater dangers than you, creature.
We will fight together to protect our world.
The shadow creature launched a powerful dark attack towards the warriors, but they responded with relentless ferocity. Turles, his eyes shining with determination, unleashed a shower of destructive energy, summoning the very essence of nature to channel it in a torrent of energetic attacks. Their powerful attacks cut through the darkness with devastating precision, creating dazzling explosions that lit up the planet's night sky. Bardock, with his fiery ki and indomitable spirit, channeled his energy into a powerful attack. His fists were burning with a searing intensity as he launched a concentrated burst of energy towards the shadow creature, challenging its strength with its own. Bardock's attack resonated with the determination of an invincible warrior, willing to give everything for the protection of his world. Raditz and Cooler, united in battle, joined in a coordinated assault on the shadow creature. With fluid and coordinated movements, they launched bursts of energy from different angles, creating a barrier of attacks that surrounded their enemy. The shadow creature struggled to defend itself against the combined onslaught of the two powerful warriors, but its resistance was challenged by the determination and skill of Raditz and Cooler. Meanwhile, Frieza, with his golden form glowing with a golden aura, was preparing to unleash his full power against the shadow creature. His eyes shone with a cold and calculated determination as he focused his energy on a devastating attack. With a graceful and precise movement, Frieza unleashed a burst of golden energy that swirled with unparalleled destructive power, threatening to envelop the shadow creature in a mantle of fire and destruction. The battle escalated as the warriors of Thraxus Nocturne bravely faced the darkness that threatened their world. Every blow, every burst of energy echoed through space, creating a spectacle of destruction and determination. Meanwhile, on the mental plane, Awamo and Ewin were engaged in a metaphysical struggle against Father Zeno, an omnipotent entity whose presence radiated an aura of indescribable power. Ewin and Awamo, aware of the gravity of the situation, desperately sought the intervention of Father Zeno to counter the threat of the shadow creature. However, to their surprise, Father Zeno solemnly informed them that they could not intervene directly, since the balance of the universe had to be kept intact even in times of crisis. Awamo and Ewin, although unhappy with Father Zeno's decision, understood the importance of respecting the laws of the cosmos. With determination, they plunged even deeper into the metaphysical struggle, using all their ingenuity and power to find a solution to the crisis unfolding in Thraxus Nocturne. As a confrontation on the mental plane reached its climax, Awamo and Ewin found themselves face to face with the imposing Father Zeno. His figure radiated an indisputable authority, but also an aura of mystery that aroused restlessness in the Ewin and Awamo. Awamo, with his usual serenity, broke the tense silence that filled the ethereal space. "Father Zeno," he began in a firm but respectful tone, "could it be you that... Were you the one who sent the shadow creatures to destroy the planets?" Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, nodded slowly. "I did it for the good of the universe," he replied calmly. Although his voice resonated with a power that shook Ewin and Awamo, sometimes drastic measures must be taken to preserve the cosmic balance. Ewin, with a flash of indignation in his eyes, could not contain himself anymore. "But that doesn't justify the chaos and destruction you've unleashed!" he exclaimed, his voice echoing with unshakable determination. "There are other ways to restore balance without resorting to violence and darkness." Father Zeno observed the god of destruction and his angel with a penetrating gaze, as if he were evaluating their words and their posture. "Your compassion is admirable, but sometimes it's necessary to sacrifice a few pieces to save the entire board," he said in an enigmatic tone. Awamo and Ewin exchanged determined glances. Although they respected Father Zeno's authority, they knew that they had to follow their own principles and convictions. With courage, they prepared to challenge the omnipotent being in front of them, willing to fight for what they believed was right, even if it meant facing the divinity itself. The air on the mental plane was charged with tension, as Awamo and Ewin prepared to face Father Zeno. Their divine auras collided in a show of titanic forces, as Ewin and Awamo prepared to challenge the supreme being in front of them. Awamo, with his heavenly book in hand, looked at Father Zeno with determination. "Father Zeno,
Although we respect your authority, we cannot allow you to continue with this destruction, he stated firmly. We'll fight for peace and balance in the universe, even if it means standing up to you.
Father Zeno, with an impenetrable calm, nodded in recognition.
Your courage is admirable, but you'll not be able to stop me, he replied calmly. The fate of the universe is in my hands, and I'll do whatever it takes to preserve its balance.
Without further words, the battle began with a burst of divine energy. Owamo unleashed his celestial power, summoning rays of light that he threw against Father Zeno, while Iwin threw waves of energy with determination. However, Father Zeno showed impressive resilience, deflecting every attack with surprising ease. The fight went on for what seemed like an eternity, with Iwin and Owamo and Father Zeno trading punches and counterpunches in a cosmic dance of power and skill. Every movement was imbued with a supernatural force, while the mental plane trembled under the intensity of his conflict. However, as time passed, Owamo and Iwin began to feel the weight of their opponent. Father Zeno's power was overwhelming, and every blow Iwin and Owamo received weakened them even more. Despite their bravery and determination, it seemed that they were fighting against an impossible-to-defeat force. Owamo, panting from the effort, looked at his companion with concern.
Iwin, we can't go on like this, he admitted sincerely. Father Zeno's too powerful for us.
Iwin, though exhausted, nodded determinedly.
I know, Owamo, but we can't give up, he replied firmly. We must keep fighting, for Thraxus Nocturne, and for all beings in the universe.
With a final effort, Iwin and Owamo gathered their forces to launch a final attack against Father Zeno. However, the Supreme Being easily overcame them, deflecting his power with a contemptuous gesture. Father Zeno looked at Iwin and Owamo with a mixture of admiration and regret.
They're brave, but their struggle has come to an end, he solemnly declared. Accept your defeat and let fate take its course.
With a resigned sigh, Owamo and Iwin surrendered to Father Zeno's overwhelming strength. Although they had fought with all their heart and soul, they knew that they could not defeat the Supreme Being in front of them. Father Zeno, with a compassionate look, looked at them benevolently.
Rest now, my brave creations, he said gently. His bravery will be remembered throughout the universe.
Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, extended his hand towards the exhausted Iwin and Owamo. In an instant, a powerful burst of cosmic energy emanated from his palm, enveloping Owamo and Iwin in a dazzling radiance. Iwin and Owamo screamed in agony as Father Zeno's energy enveloped them, feeling every fiber of their being torn apart under the relentless power of the Supreme Being. Their bodies, imbued with divine light, were slowly consumed in the maelstrom of energy, fading little by little into the ether of the cosmos. Owamo and Iwin fought with all their might to resist the cataclysm that engulfed them, but it was useless. The power of Father Zeno surpassed them in every respect, and they were soon reduced to mere shadows of their former glory. With the last gasp, Owamo and Iwin exploded, leaving body parts all over the mental space, dissipating into cosmic nothingness while their essence merged with the universe. At that precise moment, we return to the earthly plane, where the fierce battle between the most powerful warriors of Thraxus Nocturne and the shadow creature was reaching its climax. Bursts of energy and thunderous crashes echoed in the air, while Bardock, in the middle of the combat, glimpsed Owamo and Iwin, who were lying unconscious on the ground, enveloped in a halo of divine light. Surprise and dismay were reflected on the faces of the warriors, who momentarily stopped their frantic struggle upon realizing the situation. Bardock, his eyes wide open, watched in horror as Iwin and Owamo's bodies began to shake, emanating flashes of energy that increased in intensity with each passing second. A tense silence enveloped the battlefield as everyone watched the scene in disbelief. Suddenly, a heart-rending explosion echoed in the air, making the earth and sky tremble. Bardock and the other warriors were thrown back by the force of the explosion, protecting themselves as best as they could from the shockwave that was spreading around them. When the afterglow of the explosion faded, what was left was a smoking crater where Owamo and Iwin once stood. The warriors slowly stood up, stunned by what they had just witnessed, as the shadow creature, now shrouded in an even denser darkness, prepared to lash out again before the protecting warriors of Thraxus Nocturne. Bardock clenched his fist determinedly, feeling a mixture of sadness and fury burn inside him. He knew that they must continue the fight, not only for the honor of their planet, but also in memory of their brave fallen guardians. With a war cry, the warriors rushed into combat again, determined to avenge the loss of their comrades and protect their home from the darkness that threatened to consume it. After the devastating explosion that killed Iwamo and Ewin, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne gathered in a circle, still stunned by what had happened. Bardock, with a gloomy look, broke the silence with a grave tone.
Damn it! What the hell just happened?
Turles, frowning, shook his head in disbelief.
I don't know, but we can't let this sacrifice be in vain. We need to get this thing over with once and for all.
Raditz, with his fist clenched, furiously nodded determinedly.
You're right! Iwamo and Ewin gave their lives to protect this planet. We cannot disappoint his sacrifice.
Frieza, with his usual impassive expression, spoke in a cold and calculated tone.
The death of Ewin and Iwamo should not be in vain. We must unite and concentrate our efforts on defeating that shadow creature.
Cooler, with a serious look, added determinedly,
We are facing an unprecedented threat, but if we fight together, we can overcome it. Let's do it for the honor of Thraxis Nocturne, for the legacy of our brave comrades.
Bardock nodded sullenly, his jaw tense with determination.
So, are we in agreement? We'll fight together until the end and avenge our fallen.
The warriors nodded in agreement, sharing a look of determination and unity. With their hearts filled with determination, they prepared to face once again the darkness that threatened their home. As the warriors prepared to face the shadow creature again, a fierce determination burned in their hearts. Turles, feeling the energy of the battle, was the first to unleash his power.
It's time to show them our true power!
With a powerful scream, Turles wrapped himself in an aura of energy. Her dark hair turned golden and her eyes shone with a dazzling intensity. The energy of the Super Saiyan emanated from his being, infusing strength and determination into his entire being. Raditz, inspired by Turtle's example, followed suit.
It's my turn!
With a burst of energy, Raditz's dark hair bristled, turning golden just like his brother's. His ki increased dramatically, emanating a commanding presence that filled the battlefield. Seeing the transformation of his comrades, Bardock also joined the fray.
I can't stay behind!
With a battle cry, Bardock unleashed all his power. His fiery aura enveloped him in a higher golden glow. His energy increased to astronomical levels, propelling him towards a higher form of his race. Frieza, observing the transformation of the Saiyans, did not want to be left behind.
The time has come to show my true strength.
With a burst of energy, Frieza transformed into his golden form of maximum power similar to 100% full power. His body radiating a golden glow. His power multiplied several times, turning him into an unstoppable force that rivaled the sunlight itself. Cooler, feeling the energy surrounding him, decided to join the fight with all his might.
It's time to unleash my true potential.
With a flash of energy, Cooler transformed into his metallic form, his body glowing with a metallic luster. His stamina and power increased exponentially, making him an invincible force that would defy even the gods. With their transformations complete, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne once again faced the shadow creature with renewed determination and a power that eclipsed any darkness. In the skies of Thraxis Nocturne, the battle continued as the transformed warriors faced off against the shadow creature, a being whose dark power threatened to devour everything in its path. With each of the warriors unleashing their full potential, the cosmos trembled under the force of their epic showdown. The golden aura of Turles, Raditz, and Bardock, combined with the imposing presence of Frieza and Cooler in their transformed forms, formed a dazzling spectacle in the night sky. Energy flickered around them, lighting up the darkness with golden and silver flashes as they prepared for the final showdown. The shadow creature, sensing his power of his adversaries, emanated a rumbling roar that echoed through the planet. His dark form seemed to twist and distort as he prepared for the final assault.
It's time to end this once and for all!
With a battle cry, Turles lunged forward. His speed increased by his Super Saiyan form. The shadow creature responded with an onslaught of dark energy, but Turles nimbly dodged it, moving with astonishing speed across the battlefield. Raditz and Bardock followed Turles' lead, attacking with relentless ferocity. Their blows echoed in the air, each one charged with the strength of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. The shadow creature's attacks were swift and fierce, but the Saiyans deftly dodged them,
responding with even more powerful blows.
Father, let's keep the pressure on this thing. We can't let it destroy our home.
I know. We're not going to allow this monster to destroy Thrax's Nocturne. Our power is more than enough to end it.
That's right. You taught us to fight with courage and determination. We'll not back down before this creature is destroyed.
Take this! The shadow creature dodged Bardock's attack with agility, launching its counterattack with its sharp claws.
Careful, Father.
Don't worry about me. I'm more than ready for this.
And take this too.
Raditz's attacks hit the shadow creature hard, but it quickly recovered and counterattacked with a surge of dark energy. Damn, this thing's tougher than I thought.
We can't give up now. Our planet depends on us.
You're right. Let's show you what we're capable of. The two Saiyans launched into the air attack once more with renewed determination. Their blows echoed in the air, each one charged with the strength of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. The shadow creature, although resistant, was overcome by the ferocity of the Saiyans. Turles, with his golden hair flowing behind him, launched a quick series of precise punches, each one carrying with it the power of his transformation into Super Saiyan. His movements were fluid and graceful, as if he were dancing around his enemy, dodging every attack with impressive agility.
There's no escape for you, monster. Your darkness can't compete with the power of the Super Saiyan.
With a battle cry, Turles lashed out at the shadow creature, striking with overwhelming force. Every blow resounded in the air, shaking the battlefield with its power. The shadow creature was fighting desperately, but its attack seemed weak compared to Turles' ferocity. Meanwhile, Raditz and Bardock were continuing their assault on the shadow creature. Their attacks were coordinated and precise, each complementing the other in a deadly dance of destruction. The shadow creature found itself increasingly cornered, unable to cope with the combined might of the Saiyans.
Come on, Father. We know we can stop this thing.
I know, Raditz. Let's keep pushing until there's nothing left of this creature. With renewed determination, the two Saiyans redoubled their efforts, launching a series of devastating attacks against the shadow creature. Each blow echoed in the air, carrying with it the weight of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. Frieza and Cooler were watching the battle intently from a distance, their cold gazes evaluating every move of the Saiyans and the shadow creature. As the fight intensified, they noticed with increasing concern how the shadow creature began to gain more strength, releasing a dark energy that threatened to destabilize this situation.
It seems that the things are getting more complicated than I expected.
Yes, the shadow creature seems to be gaining ground. If we don't intervene soon, we could face an even more dangerous situation. With a cold determination, Frieza and Cooler exchanged a glance before heading towards the battlefield. His presence made itself felt immediately. His overbearing aura flooded the area as they prepared to face the shadow creature.
Looks like we need to intervene before things get out of control.
I agree. We cannot allow the shadow creature to wreak more havoc on our planet. With surprising speed, Frieza and Cooler launched into action, deploying all the power in an effort to contain the shadow creature. His attacks were precise and devastating, each blow carrying with it the weight of his determination and the desire to protect his home. However, the shadow creature was not going to be easily defeated. With a thunderous scream, he split into 4 separate beings, each one darker and more malevolent than the last. The earth trembled under their weight as they advanced towards the warriors, ready to unleash their fury on them.
It seems that this creature has more tricks up its sleeve than we thought.
It doesn't matter. We have our own tricks.
Well, guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now, don't forget to leave your powerful like, Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now, without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.
Track